think the match shall be first this time. John?
Okay. Well, thank you all so much for coming out tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Again, my big issues are business development here in the community, making our roads, our sidewalks more beautiful, safer, addressing the issues of hunger and poverty, and bringing local community organizations together to help reduce this, unfortunately, what has been a growing trend. And looking at other programs such as adding technical courses here in the community to help young people who are not necessarily can afford college or don't necessarily want to go to college, be able to get into careers that are above minimum wage positions. I think that's a big thing we need to address, expanding growth and working alongside our city council, other city council people, as I would like to be able to do, our local community leaders with the university, and on the state legislature issue level as well, to be able to bring more students in here. Again, I'm very involved in business in our community, I'm very involved in politics, I'm very involved in community service organizations, and I feel that it would do our city a lot of good to have an upstanding person who is very successful and on the younger side to help lead our city forward. And with that, I thank you.
Yeah, I want to thank the league for this as well. I think this is always the first one. There are several more coming up in the near future. You know, I think that I like to think that I show my dedication to this community. That just the fact that I've been here my whole life. I've been serving in the fire department for the last almost 10 years now, and as a battalion chief for the last 4. And an EMT with the fire department as well. And you see all sorts of people in this community when you do that. I guess I get to see people at their worst, and on their worst day. But on that worst day, I think that it's nice that they get somebody that they know they're helping them out. And I like to think that I do the same thing on the council. I'm somebody you know that's there at that level to help you with whatever problems you might have. We talked a lot up here about priorities. That was a lot of the questions came up. And that's really the current direction that the council is heading with our strategic planning process that we've been going through. We used to set goals every year, and we wanted to do these goals that were kind of more like projects. When I first became council president, I said, we've got all these things sitting on the back burner. Let's focus on what's already there. Nothing new, and we've done that for a while, and we started taking things off the list. And I think that that's what we're trying to do now with our strategic planning, is make that list, prioritize these things. Things might shift in priority throughout different year to year, but everybody's kind of got the same things on their list, and I think that we'll hopefully can move forward with that. And I appreciate your vote.
Thank you to the league for sponsoring this event. And thank you all for coming out and being part of this process. It really is important, and it's really fun to be able to do this. We moved here after coming to visit here when we went camping, and my husband and I had been living overseas, and we just fell in love with this town because you could feel its sense of warmth. And we loved having a university, an independent bookstore. The Micro was here at the time, which was the theater, and now we have the Kenworthy nonprofit, and the co-op. And those are big pieces to quality of life. We have all kinds of other businesses, but what makes Moscow unique is we have an educated community that wants to continue to hold on to its quality of life and grow. And I think that's why these things can sometimes feel contentious. But as long as we're talking to each other, as long as there's conversation, as long as we're building relationships, we move forward. And I look forward to having your vote on November 3rd.
Probably can't say thank you enough to the League of Women Voters, and thank you, Roger, for being the moderator. And thanks to all the people that came and filled up the chairs here tonight. I think it's really great to see the people of Moscow care about who they're electing to represent them and make policy in their community. I've only been on the council for about 10 months, and like I said earlier, I've enjoyed it very much. Working with the people, with the staff, and the other councilors. I look forward to having the chance to continue and finish the projects like the police station and reuse of water and improving the sidewalks and all the other things that we're trying to do and finding solutions for those things, improving the bicycle and pedestrian pathways throughout the town. And I appreciate your vote very much on November 3rd.
Thank you. I want to thank the League of Women Voters in Moscow for running these fora year after year after year, no matter what kind of positions are up. They are all important, and the League is foremost in educating us and allowing the information to come out as these four wonderful people have brought it out. So that I want to thank them. I want to thank the candidates for your marvelous presentations. And now we may all thank them.